Hi Capricorn, welcome to your June 2022 reading. We're going to talk about Mercury retrograde going direct first because this is happening in your fifth house. And then Mercury will ingress to Gemini, your sixth house, on the 14th of June. And Mercury going direct in your fifth house is really going to help you open up your self-expression and also really help you to create more opportunities. It's almost as if you felt very stifled by your words lately. So, and it may even have been like the end of the Mercury retrograde where you were really stifled by your words. Saturn, your ruling planet, is beginning his retrograde motion the day after Mercury goes direct. And there's what's really interesting is, we talked about Gemini season and, really June in general is this whole illusion of time. And we think that we need to get things accomplished by a certain time or stuff needs to be done by a certain time. And there's such an illusion when it comes to that. And one of the things that I've really recognized for myself is anything that I feel like I'm restricting myself on, I wait and I stop and I wait. But you can't do that if you have so many other fearful emotions inside of you or so many, the fear of not getting things taken care of, the fear of not getting things done. And if we're going to be honest, Capricorn, you guys are the hardest on yourselves when it comes to those fears, period. That's just you guys are just incredibly hard on yourselves. And part of you, it's really funny because part of you really wants to hurt. I feel like you just want to hurry up and get things done. And what you need to understand is if you're making decisions based on desperation, the next choices that you're going to be making and decisions you're going to be making are going to be based on desperation. And the more you allow yourself to use your words poorly, the more you're going to be suffering within that restricted frustration. Saturn retrograde in your second house is helping you to look at different ways to make money, look at different ways to build the structures around you. What you have to remember, Capricorn, and I am going to harp on this with you guys until the day is long. I will do it with every single earth sign. Virgos are a little bit easier to move because they're mutable, but I will harp on you about this, you guys, because we build structures in our life all the time. And in every moment, we're building a part of the structure of our life. And we do that to keep ourselves safe. We do that to stay comfortable. We do that to support our growth and evolution. The trick is when you recognize the expiration date of the structures that you've built in your life, whether that's a job, whether that's the environment that you're in, whether that is anything that creates safety and security around you, and you're evolving, but your structures are not evolving, your soul is going to ask you to change something. So let's look at your cards. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Hanged Man. When in doubt, pause. The Page of Cups is the desire. It feels like I need. This is really what I want to do. And the Knight of Swords is like, this is really what I want to do. Let me just rush right into it. And then you see, and then the universe comes along and says, Hanged Man, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Hanged Man is about faith, trusting, and having faith. The Hanged Man will purposefully put himself upside down to see things in a different perspective. And the Page of Cups is the limiting beliefs that we have. It feels like whenever we are afraid of something or we want to make a decision based on, the desperation of things, it comes from a lack of, a feeling of lack in some way, shape, or form. If you're not paying attention to the way that life is shifting around you, and you'll notice, because it makes you very uncomfortable, the things that are making you very uncomfortable will shift under your feet. It will shift around you. It will make you feel worse about your situation. And if you ignore that, then you're becoming a part of the suffering that you are going through. And that can be harder on you than if you, wow, I think that this just, slow down. Sorry if my voice and my words are not matching up with you, with whatever's going on. But, okay. June is full of a lot of changes. There's definitely that something is going to be shifting for you, and June is full of a lot of changes. The only way that you're going to be able to survive this is if you get out of your own way. If you and maybe survive is sounds a little bit too dramatic, but it's really funny because our world can be bringing us abundance and blessings, and we still manage not to be able to see it. With the Eight of Swords. Hold on a second. I feel like there's too much stuff going on with my computer. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Swords. There are definitely some aha moments that are going to be coming for you. And the more you try and rack your brain to figure out how to do something, the harder it's going to be for you. The best way for you to utilize this June is by listening to your own gut instinct, listening to your heart. What is it that you want to do? Keeping yourself in places and spaces that don't feel good to you, do not make you happy, make you miserable more often than they make you happy, is just going to keep perpetuating that misery and that suffering. If you're staying in a relationship because you really want to, you want to be loyal and you want to work on it and you love the person so much, and they're making it difficult for you and they're not making life easier for you, then there's probably something that needs to change. If you're staying in a job that doesn't make you feel good, if you're staying in an environment that doesn't make you feel good, there is a desire. And the funny thing is in the beginning of June, you're like, can we just get this month over already? I feel like you just want to rush through it. You don't want to see what's coming next. You just want to make these decisions and create the pathways for it to happen. And that's great. And that's wonderful. But if you're making these decisions and creating these pathways without really thinking about what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and you can make excuses until the day is long as to why you are stopping yourself from the changes that are happening. Do you see? This almost feels overwhelming. This almost feels, with the Ace of Swords, with the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Swords, it feels like you have trapped yourself in a prison of your own mind, thinking that you can just figure all of this out on your own. And I'm not saying that you got to go to other people to try and figure it out. What I'm saying is It's time for you to ask your guides. It's time for you to ask for help. It's time for you to create softer spaces for you to make things happen for you. Because this feels very aggressive. I feel like you are aggressively taking steps to change your life, and that's fine. But I don't want you to aggressively take steps to change your life because you're angry about it. I don't want it to be out of desperation. That's why when we initially see the expiration dates of life, that's when we take action. Because the longer that we stay in a situation that we know we no longer want to be in, the harder it gets to leave. You see? And clearly, there's a shift happening for you. Clearly. How do you feel about that? Do you even want the shift to happen? If you want the shift to happen, what are you doing to create soft spaces for that shift to happen for you? Are you making it harder on yourself? How are you making it harder on yourself? These are the questions once Mercury goes direct and starts. It'll be like probably about June 9th when we'll start to really feel the freedom of Mercury being direct. I don't think Saturn retrograde Saturn's gonna be retrograde until October 23rd. And I don't think that we're gonna feel that I know we won't because it's an outer planet, but as strongly as that Mercury retrograde. Right after eclipse season, like your life was meant to change during this time for a reason. And holding on to structures that you clearly can see are crumbling around you, that's going to be the difficult parts, right? So in your extended, we're going to look at a little bit deeper into the astrology, and then we will clarify your cards. But there's definitely a change that's coming, and I don't want you to rush into it. I need you to take the steps forward to help guide you forward and not jump into something just without thinking. So I love you guys. I'm excited for your extended. I do have openings on my calendar in June. It's sort of in a skeleton way. I have the 6-month tarot reading that I do at the beginning of the year for people. I have a couple of appointments available for the second half of the year. So if you want to see the energies for the second half of the year, I also have openings for astrology readings as well. So come join us. Come join me. I love you guys. I'll see you later.